Today, we're diving into how to build your very own home apothecary. But this is about so much more than just stocking a cabinet. It's really about reclaiming a vital, almost forgotten skill and reconnecting with the wisdom our ancestors live by every single day.
This idea from Rudolf Steiner is really our starting point. It's this powerful thought that nature has already provided the cures we need. We just have to learn where to look again. I mean, think about it. So many of the medicines we rely on today, like aspirin, that came from willow bark. Heart medications, from the foxglove plant. They originally came from plants, herbs, and things people used to call common weeds.
So, what if we shifted our focus just a little bit? Instead of only reacting when we get sick, what if we actually invested time in learning, growing, and preparing these amazing medicinal plants as a way to stay well in the first place? That's the big question we're digging into today.
For a lot of people, a journey like this starts with a simple desire for a different way of life. It might begin with a move from the city out to the countryside, a change of scenery that just completely opens up a new way of seeing the world.
And the funny thing is, the initial goal wasn't even about building a medicine cabinet. It was much simpler. Just grow your own food, live a more self-sufficient life. But that one goal, well, it naturally blossomed into this much deeper exploration of herbalism and plant-based healing. And you can kind of see how this all unfolds. It starts by seeing this knowledge in action, maybe in places like Mexico or Jamaica, where the locals just point to plants growing nearby for everything from fevers to anxiety. That experience just got me thinking, surely there's an equivalent where I live, right? And just like that, the journey began, with my own kitchen slowly, season by season, filling up with drying herbs.
Okay, so where do you even begin with all this? Well, let's start with something we all face, especially in the winter: colds and flu. And the goal here isn't just to get better faster, but hopefully to keep from getting sick in the first place.
So here are 5 absolute must-haves for your winter wellness kit. You probably already have thyme in your kitchen. It's a real powerhouse for coughs because of its antimicrobial properties. Elderberry is a personal favorite for giving your immune system a serious boost. Mullein is this wonderful, gentle herb for soothing chesty coughs. Yarrow is the traditional go-to for helping to break a fever, and of course, you've got echinacea, which is famous for helping your body fight off infections.
All right, let's zoom in on yarrow for a second. This herb has a legendary reputation that goes back thousands of years. And it's not just for colds. That nickname, nature's plaster, gives you a little clue about its other incredible uses. So get this, its Latin name, Achillea, comes directly from the Greek hero Achilles. The story goes that he gave yarrow to his soldiers to treat their wounds right on the battlefield. That's why they call it nature's plaster. So while it's fantastic for reducing a fever, it also has this incredible history as a wound healer. Pretty cool, right? Okay, let's switch gears and talk about something else that hits close to home for so many of us in modern life: stress and anxiety. Our nervous systems are just under constant strain, but these herbs have been used for centuries to help bring back a sense of balance and calm.
This is basically your core toolkit for finding a little peace and quiet. Lemon balm is just wonderfully fragrant and has this gentle, mood-lifting quality. The beautiful passion flower is amazing for helping you get some restful sleep. Chamomile, it's a timeless classic for a reason. It's just incredibly soothing. And skullcap is an absolute lifesaver for those nights when your brain just refuses to switch off.
And here's something that's really important to remember. It's not just about the chemistry of the plant. The actual ritual, that simple, mindful act of brewing a cup of tea a little while before bed, is a deeply calming practice all by itself. When you combine that with the power of the herbs, you've got a really powerful recipe for relaxation.
Okay, so you have your herbs, now what? How do you actually use them? How do you unlock all of their amazing properties? Let's get into some of the simple, practical methods that anyone can do.
Really, there are 3 main ways you're going to unlock the power of these herbs. The most common is just a simple tea or what's called an infusion. Next up, you can create a tincture, which is a much more concentrated liquid. And finally, you can make a salve or some other topical preparation to put right on your skin.
So what in the world is a tincture? Well, think of it like a super concentrated herbal extract. Basically, you use alcohol to pull all the beneficial compounds out of the plant, and what you're left with is a potent, long-lasting natural remedy that's super easy to store and use.
And making one is way easier than it sounds. You just put your dried herbs in a clean jar, cover them completely with a strong alcohol, vodka works great, and then you let it sit in a dark place for about 4 to 6 weeks.
Just give it a good shake every day or so. After that, you just strain the liquid out, and boom, your tincture is ready. It's a really straightforward process. All right, so once you've got your go-to herbs for colds and stress down, you can start expanding your apothecary to help with all kinds of other common everyday issues.
And you can see just how versatile your home apothecary can really become. For tummy troubles, you can turn to herbs like fennel and mint to help soothe your digestion. For skin irritations like little scrapes or rashes, calendula and St. John's wort are amazing healers. Got a sore throat? Marshmallow and licorice root provide this incredibly soothing coat. And for pain, there's the remarkable willow bark.
This is one of my favorite examples. Willow bark contains a compound called salicin. Does that sound familiar? It should. It's the natural compound that aspirin was first created from. It's this direct, undeniable link between traditional herbal knowledge and modern medicine. It is literally nature's original pain reliever.
Now, this is really important. Because these plants are so powerful, it is absolutely essential that we approach them with respect. This isn't just about folklore or old stories. We're working with potent natural compounds that have very real effects on the body.
So, here's the bottom line. While taking care of yourself is incredibly empowering, it is vital to use the correct dosages and to avoid trying to diagnose a serious illness on your own. Always treat these herbs with the same caution you'd use for any other form of medicine, and please seek expert guidance if you're dealing with anything serious or that just won't go away.
But ultimately, what I love most about this practice is the deep connection it creates. It's a connection to nature, a connection to the people who came before us, and a connection to a more whole way of looking at our own health. It's a beautiful reminder of a time when healing was just part of the rhythm of the natural world.
And that brings us to this final thought. Building an apothecary really isn't about material wealth or convenience. It is a form of true richness. It's an empowering, vital skill that reconnects us to a wisdom we almost lost. So the only question left is, what plant will you start with?